Hey, what's going on, everybody out there? This is Koonie from Koonie on the Couch, and today we're talking about the What's Next for Warcraft uh, panel that just happened at BlizzCon. And today with me, I have Myth Arena, a good friend and fellow raid team member. How's it going, Myth?
Doing all right, but obviously I'm a Nato fanboy. But what happened in BlizzCon? Oh, I'll leave that for you to talk with.
So, if you're angry over Lady Sylvanas destroying Teldrassil, tell me about it in the comment section below and give the Alliance a big thumbs up for losing Darnassus. Koonie and Mytharina's homeland. And basically, if you think Lady Sylvanas should die, let us know about that too. But Myth, with the stuff that's up and coming, what are your initial thoughts?
My initial thought is killing Sylvanas over and over until she runs out of Valkyria and finally killing her at the stake.
Okay, but
That's
I
the
mean
initial one.
with the up and coming content like the island invasions
Oh yeah.
or the new battleground that's coming with 7.73.5.
Okay, first off, for the new zones, we finally get to see where Jaina has been, what she's been doing, and what she plans on doing. And for everyone that's saying Jaina is a Dreadlord out there, Blizzard said no, which I'm quite happy with. But I am very worried about Jaina, and hopefully she's gaining some ground for us Alliance players out there. And as for the new PvP, that actually looks quite fun. Well, unless people have already. I'm not going to say anything about spoilers about why that's happened, but it's a really good reason why we'd be over there. And I was. Makes me think of a different type of capture flag or control points. Basically, like shard mines, but stationary instead of moving around.
Yeah, I love the fact that basically stuff will pop up at random, and you have to make a decision who's going to stay here with this one while we go cap that one, and vice versa. And because it can be up to three of them popping up all at once, it's really going to add a dynamic. I don't think anybody's going to have a full-on advantage.
Yeah, and it discourage fighting on the road a lot more.
Yes.
Thankfully.
And that's always been an issue with, I don't care if you're doing Warsong Gulch, fighting in the road, you don't do it. You don't stick in the mid. Because when you stick in the mid, your team doesn't win. You should always be capping or protecting the person with the flag or holding.
Yeah, here's the thing when it comes to objectives in PvP. This is not arena. The thing of doing the objective is doing the objective, protecting it, or grabbing the objective yourself. Either one. Work as a team, and you win. Well, other than the obviousness of that.
How do you feel about the two new continents, one Horde, one Alliance?
Okay, how they divided it up actually sound very interesting. As the Alliance get their own little continent where helping solve called Tiras going on, while the Horde is helping out Zandalar and getting basically naval fleets from both sides. But
Yeah,
what I
that's...
find very interesting about that, once
Oh,
you hit
sorry.
120, is you're able to go to the different continents controlled by the other faction, making posts, invading their lands. And no, I'm not talking about ganking, even though you can do that.
Oh, ganking is so much fun, though.
As long as you're not doing it to lobbies, it's fine.
Well, if they're dumb enough to be opted in for PvP, which is going to be a thing, and
True.
mainly with the PvP servers being completely gone, because people that are on PvP servers that are there because, you know, a friend went there and they wanted to be with their friend, and now they're stuck on a PvP server to be ganked indefinitely. Now they can opt out of PvP, and people on PvE servers can opt into it. It's gonna, if they're gonna be dumb enough to opt in, I'm gonna be nice enough to kill them, and that's my rule of thumb.
True.
You know, because that's just the way I roll. What about the war? What is that called? The war scales, or I forget exactly what the wording was. It's
The
not
campaign.
yes, the where basically an assault will start and you have to go there to defend.
Oh. Okay, I think I know what you're talking about now. It's the 20 player versus AI or player,
Uh huh.
and basically it's the RTS. Well, for everyone that played Warcraft 1 through 3. I'm pretty sure the comments will correct me if I'm wrong. Uh, Basically, you're living in the RTS, working with other players, and try to succeed against either horde or advanced horde bots or horde players themselves. And I find that very interesting and a very fun thing to have.
And one thing that they said that I've never actually seen in Warcraft is advanced AI that doesn't just move in the same pattern all day long. It's an AI that's actually out to destroy your faction, and it does sneaky little stuff. It'll act like it's your friend, and then as you're leaving, it's combat ready, meaning it'll attack you.
Yeah, I think that's more of a welcome change, to be honest, because uh, eventually, that, in my opinion, that looks like a soft core to PvP, and will actually introduce other players that avoid PvP like the plague. Basically saying, I might actually try PvP if this is how it is in this new content, which would bring more people to PvP, and maybe, possibly, very low chance, PvPers to PvE.
Yeah. What do you think about the new dungeons that are coming?
From the only two that I've seen, I remember that I can't remember what place it was, but I just want to say, through the entirety of when we were going through, I know it's not about the dungeon, but some of the races I saw. I'm starting to feel like that the Fox people might actually become an allied race sooner or later, because I've seen them almost. They're on the Horde Isle, and now they're also on the Alliance Isle. When I saw the panel,
Yeah.
so because like they said, there's gonna be 6 allied races, and they're gonna be adding more. But back to the issue of the dungeon. I actually really like that pirate theme, even though there's some very disgusting looking humans there. But it actually is more realistic instead of staying to one type of body style that we see either in player creation or just, well, other things.
Yeah. You know what my favorite thing that he talked about at that in that whole panel was they're scaling every single zoning game. That is awesome. And guys, if y'all can hear that in the background, that's my cat. That's my orange tabby cat, Mr. Bernie. Say hi, Bernie. Oh, you're gonna be shy now. But they're even scaling it to where it, like level 58, you don't have to go straight over to Outlands. You can choose to go to Northrend instead, or vice versa. You know, at level 80, you can choose to go to Outland instead of the Cataclysm areas. which I think is awesome. And like with Westfall, if you're level 110 and you go to Westfall, you'll see level 60s, not level 110s. However, if you're, level 10 over in Westfall, you'll see level 10s. And each zone has its own minimum and its own maximum. So I think that's very welcoming.
Yeah, that's definitely a good one because we remember if people remember from last BlizzCon or whichever other event, I can't remember which, Blizzard said scaling in the zones is somewhat of a test, see if they want to implement it more, which they are gladly going to do. And for people like a few people that I know personally, hate Outlands with a burning passion. So instead, they can go to Northern, which they prefer much better. Which I do as well, but I'm very happy to see the scaling because there are a few zones where I actually had to skip out on the story. It's like, oh well, I have to go to the next one and I forget about it, like much later.
And so, what are your honest thoughts about Dark Iron Dwarves finally becoming Alliance?
Well, with lore with the Dark Iron Dwarves, first they were united for like a little bit, then it went at war. Dark Irons went back to Blackrock Mountain, tried to have a safe haven, summon the Fire Lord Ragnaros, and we all know how that happened. Thought the Dark Irons were extinct, but they weren't. We came up there, killed Darzan, and eventually the Moira. Back in vanilla, you could have killed her, but in lore, you don't, which is why she's won the Council of Three Hammers now. And here's one thing. Now she is back as the Council of Three Hammers. She was trying to prove how the Dark Irons could be allied to the Alliance again in Dwarves, which she has in the Blood in the Snow, or whatever that scenario was called back in Pandaria, where you saved the Dwarves with the King and Moira, proving that the Dark Irons were actually being more trustworthy. But the one thing that you need to remember, though, as all factions have been subject to the Twilight Hammer. Twilight Hammer, in short story, is basically trying to end the world, have old gods rule everything, and they are quite scary. Basically, obviously, making some trust issues because quite a bit. Like, I can't remember, or there's not much of a big percentage of Dark Irons to Alliance and the Twilight Hammer, but it's nice to see that Dark Irons are actually going to become a allied race because I'm pretty sure a lot of people wanted to play a Dark Iron.
Oh, I always did. And the thing that honestly made me the happiest with this BlizzCon is the vanilla servers finally going up.
World of Warcraft Classic.
Gotta love it. All right, well, guys and gals out there watching, this is Koonie from Koonie on the Couch. That's Myth Arena. Thank you for watching. Remember to comment, like, and subscribe. And by the way, Koonie on the Couch is now back on YouTube. So they remonetized my channel yesterday. And so Koonie on the Couch is coming back, guys. And I'll still be on VidMe also, by the way. So it'll be on both platforms. If you follow me on VidMe, it's there. If you follow me on YouTube, it's there as well. So enjoy. Have a great day. Thank you for watching.